Hello, living in Boulder vlog. It's 5:48 a.m. on December 20th. So I guess I'll label this as the one for December 19th. I have to do stuff at 2, so I got to get to sleep right now, even though I'm like not tired at all. So I guess I'll take a melatonin. I just got really high. Only the batch that I have right now, it's not really that strong. It's that kind that it doesn't pack all that tight. The stuff that packs tight is strong. I love it. You just squeeze it. So that stuff I had before, you can just break a part of the butt off. It's like powder condensed. And then you just squeeze it with your finger and then it just pops. And then what falls down is just powder. It's like keef condensed. It's amazing. When you smoke it, it's like smoking keef. It should really sound, but this stuff, not as much, but I smoked a whole bunch, so I'm pretty high. I had like 20 hits in a row or something. But then I had a shower. Okay, so the other day, I think I did one 2 days ago, I was working on trying to finish Region 5 of Rome, Google Earthing Rome. And there's this thing called the Regionary Catalogs, and I didn't even have them on my website until like the other day. I kind of pretended they didn't exist in my head because I saw them in Latin, and I was like, deal with them later. But yeah, I mean, there's this thing called Regionary Catalogs. They did it every year from 76, 80 or something like that to 354, and I had the last year of it, 354, where they say exactly how many buildings of what different kind of building of each region there are. And so, yeah, temples, apartments, houses, grain depots, baths, cisterns, just off the top of my head, and then it has a bunch of other specialty places in it. And that's not even including Platter and Ashby. I can do with that later. But so anyway, this made made me more kind of ambitious, because when I had Platter and Ashby, I was like, okay, let's just Google it wrong, but let's put the buildings in. I was like, okay, let's just put a whole bunch of buildings in. Maybe it'll do the same amount as in Region 9, which was like 22 something. And then that was something I read in Platter and Ashby. But then I saw the regionaries, and I was like, all of each building. So I had to delete a bunch, but then I put all of each building on there. 180 houses, and 75 cisterns, and 74 baths, 75 cisterns. So anyway, I put those in, and then I had a bunch of the apartments, and I needed to, so I finished with the houses and everything today. Oh, and I had to figure out how I wanted to design everything too. And I think since the last time I did a video, I figured out how I was going to design houses, because I was working on the cisterns last time. And houses, I'm doing it off of a plan of like your average, like I guess nice big house. And I'll have, of course, each building I have its original, where you can go inside ground level, but with all the rooms divided. But so I make the hole, and then like the house comes up. I don't know, right now I have it 5 meters, but I think that's enough. Oh no, all those things are in. I was like, but that's fine, I can batch edit it, but I can't because they're all together. Okay, whatever. So I can modify it for the next area, the next region, but anyway. So then I have another one on the inside of the holes to show that's orange. Houses are red, holes are orange, to show the water going down and pluvium on both of them, and then the actually blue on the ground. So when you go over it, you can see the blue. It's pretty cool. I needed to find a way to build a city and stuff on Google Earth that illustrates everything and makes it detailed and brings you into the world like it's a cartoon, yet isn't too time consuming. It's like a balance. So, and then and I don't have all big houses. I also have a bunch of little houses, and I think I'll even get a third type of house, so 3 different sizes of houses of your standard cookie cutter house. So losing my train of thought. So yeah, I finished with the houses, and then I was like, okay, let's figure out what we're going to do with these apartments, because I didn't know how I was going to try to illustrate how many apartments there were, the number of apartments, like if I was even going to do it. The way that I was illustrating exactly to the number and to the color all the other buildings. And so I tallied how many there were left, and it was like 2,200, 2,150, and there were 3,750 that you need, because that's what it says. And written in Roman numerals, but translated by Arabic numerals. So it was like 60%, and that didn't include the 6th precinct of the region. And I didn't actually calculate, like percentage-wise, if I were to include it at the same rate. So anyways, I'm just working on the 6th precinct of that region, 5th region, making 100 square foot apartments just next to each other. Because that's what it says they are on Wikipedia. They're 1,000 square feet and has 5 or 6 people or families. Whatever, you can divide it. I'll divide it in the end, how many they have, but so anyway, so I figured that I would just do the exact number of apartment buildings as there actually were in real life, and call it good enough detail. It works for me for imagining, because I can see it. Because if you're going to detail it exactly how it was, that's just way beyond my level. Maybe one day they'll do it in 50 years, but where you can, recreate Rome exactly and be like, that's Taberna number 675, and right there's the house. You can actually go there, like virtual reality and stuff. That'll be awesome, but that ain't gonna come anytime soon. I would predict 30 or 40 years from now. So for the next 30 or 40 freaking years, you got me. Maybe not that long, but but anyway, regardless of that, I think it all has its place forever anyway, because I look at it as like a language. You're inventing a code, a language, I think I'm realizing what I am, the person who I am, what my life's mission is, because of just what I gravitated towards doing, is trying to figure out a way to show reality, illustrate numbers and space of actual history. Make it so that when you look at Rome, it's not how it is now, primitively, where it's just a bunch of buildings, or here's just a section of it. You have literally everything we know about it right there, in a way that you can understand just by looking at it. Because like me, when I look at it and I understand what all the building colors mean, it'll bring me in and be like, oh, okay. And then you can understand, more things. And that you can start learning things that you didn't know you didn't know. But, but the problem with that is that that's a whole bunch more tracing. So when I said before I'll be done by the end of April, I thought I was overshooting it just to be safe. But now if I'm going to do it like this, I haven't tallied on a calculator, but that's a lot of individual apartments I'd have to do. Just the apartments, not including all the other buildings, but just the apartments, that's like, 3,750 times 14, more or less. But the thing is, you can see each and every one of those, from way up above, and you're looking at the whole city, so it's a great way to just visualize all the people there and what they were doing. A good little thing to create the hustle bustle out of. So I'm gonna get to sleep right now. Peace out.